high performance, super cool looks, and MotoGP tech in your hands. The Shoei X-Spirit III. Hi everybody, I'm Hypermoto King, and today I'm going to be giving you my review on the Shoei X-Spirit III for It's the Better on the Road channel. So let's get on with this. Helmets. They're pretty often described as fashion accessories or fashion statements when it comes to motorcycle riding, but they do have a purpose. Supposed to keep your brain in check, keep the debris out of your eyes, and at the same time still try and look cool. And if you stick with me, tell you all that's good about it and all the things that I found not so good about it. So stay tuned and let's get on with the review. I would say probably one of the coolest motorcycle helmets out there, especially if you're into high performance motorcycling, like for example on the track or fast road. And if it's good enough for Marc Marquez, then it's definitely good enough for us lot, the average rider. People like me and you. But let's first go down to what the good points are. Race-inspired aerodynamics. So it has lots of vents, clicks and vents and holes everywhere. It has these inspired aero fins on the back that's supposed to channel air and reduce buffeting. There's also wings on the top of the helmet. So there's lots of those there, inspired from MotoGP and racing. So when you are on a bike or a superbike and you're in tuck position and you got your head down, the wind and the aero is going nicely over the top, flowing out the back. So your head's not buffeting about like this. And obviously this helmet is designed to do that. As with all helmets, they are supposed to fit nice and snug. So quite tight up against your cheeks. And the good thing about this helmet is inside, it's all modular. So all these cheek pads, the skull pads can all come off, and depending on your head, the shape of it anyway, at least. I think there's oval, mid-oval and round. Everyone can have a different size, different type of head. You can customize the inside and also the cheek pads, whether you got chubby cheeks or normal cheeks. You can squish it in and out, and that's also good because you can change them around. Plus, they're all removable. So when you do get a bit hot and sweaty, like me sometimes, you can take it all out, pop it in the washing machine, put it back in and clean it all. Safety. You get helmets for safety. Yes, the side effect is they look cool, but the primary point is their safety features, and this is packed with it being race inspired. It has lots of safety features. It has multiple layers of AIM, which I believe is Advanced Integrated Matrix Plus, which is material for use for impact resistance when you do have the odd bosh crash, which I have had. Cue the tape. If you are in an unfortunate situation of a crash, it has these emergency quick release systems on these red tabs. So if you're a first aider or an emergency person, can literally pull them out and safely take the helmet off your head. Obviously, if they're medically trained. It has super wide vision. The visor is very wide and gives optimal vision when you're actually on track or when you're actually in tuck position, or even when you're on road riding. If you just want peripheral vision, it's good. It's quite good in that sense. It has a pin lock system on the inside, so it does stop fogging and vising. And obviously all these visors are interchangeable. You can have a smoke effect, a clear one, and you can have a monochrome one, I think, which obviously changes with the sunlight. With it being race inspired, if you are like Marc Marquez, which I am certainly not, you can have these tear offs and you can rip them off. Just make sure you don't do any rear wheel spins like Marquez did. No. The other good thing about the Shoei X-Spirit III is there are lots and lots of designs. So on many of the websites, on the Shoei website, do sell these helmets. Obviously a lot of them are inspired by Marc Marquez. This is one that I just like the colours of, the shine, the orange, the blue, the red. Quite nice, it's quite mixed. And a lot of people that do choose helmets do tend to stick with a colour theme. So if you've got a KTM, for example, you've got an orange bike, this orange might work. If you've got maybe a bit of BMW blue or sometimes a bit of Ducati red, you've got Ducati over there, your choice of helmet does impact the type of helmet you buy depending on the type of bike you got and the type of clothing and stuff you buy. If you wear branded, I like that flexibility. There's different types of helmets on offer. So from my personal and riding point of view, I've had this helmet now, the Shoei X-Spirit III, I'd say for a good couple of years, and I've used it on the bike on many occasions, mainly commuting, road riding, twisties, canyons, out with your rides on your friends with a Sunday. I've done lots and lots of track days using this helmet as well. I've used it on super bikes, on an R1, I've used it on naked bike. I've currently got a supermoto, so I ride it with a supermoto as well, on road and track. The best thing I like about this helmet is definitely the aero, the wind. When you're on a naked and you are on a supermoto, there's no screen, so you get the effects of the wind, especially if you're sitting upright. And if you do try and get into a tuck position, you have to tuck your head down to try and get a bit of extra aero and that extra 2 miles an hour down the straight so the big V4s don't overtake you. This helmet is awesome at that, because you think about it, with the aero, you're also in tuck, got your chin up, you're trying to got your head up, trying to look. The peripheral vision through the visor is absolutely amazing, so you don't have to, you're not forced to look down and you're struggling and cramping your neck. You can actually tuck, look up, and you got great vision. You get less buffeting on, your head doesn't wobble around and stuff like that. And even when you do come up and you're coming into the corner where you're braking, all you need to look over your shoulder if there's someone overtaking you. Sometimes if you do change your head position from there to there, the wind, you're not going slow, so the wind will hit the helmet quite hard, and it could actually, put you off a little bit or distract you a little bit. But I think the aero on this, from especially that Shoei have their own, they have their own wind tunnel. So, they don't just put these on for fun like in the old days on your hot hatches. These guys do it properly. They test them in the tunnels. They test all the air and the angles, especially with these fins. That's one thing I definitely like about it. The other thing is the comfort and the ease at which you can adjust everything on the inside. So all in all, it's because you use this helmet in all scenarios, but it's easy to live with and it's comfortable while still looking, I think, quite cool. That's the point, right? The reason why a lot of us buy helmets is A, we got to look cool, and the side effect is it's got to be safe. So that's the good things about it. Now, maybe the not so good things. And I would say number one for me is definitely the price point. It's not the cheapest helmet. I think they retail anywhere between £500 to £800. That's pounds sterling, which is easy looking at $1,000 plus for a helmet. And then obviously the more you can customize these with different visors and pin locks, then the cost obviously goes up. So it's not cheap. Sometimes when you want to look cool, that comes at a bit of a price. So you got to weigh that up as well. The other thing is, because it is quite tight and snug, the braking period for it, let's say, can be a bit long. If you're wearing the helmet every day, commuting, hour there, hour back every day, then yeah, the braking is going to be okay. But if you're using it sparingly, say once a week, 20, 30 minutes at a time, then the tight, snug fit may take a bit longer to break in. So just bear that in mind. And when it is boiling hot or nice and hot on a day like this, which is quite rare, if you do have the vents all open, then if you're not wearing any earplugs, you can get a bit of wind noise coming through, because it is supposed to cool your head down at the same time. So it's doing what it's supposed to do to get air to go in and out through the helmet, but it is also, it can cause a bit of wind noise. So why is it so popular? Why is this Shoei X-Spirit III so popular? MotoGP riders wear it, World Superbike riders wear it, BSB riders wear it. I think because it can be customized, it can fit any type of head. And I think that's why it's popular. And I'm not saying other helmets don't do that, but I'm just saying that it's already race inspired. And then if you've got a head like Shrek, you can make it fit. And if you've got a head like Charlie Brown, it can fit. So what about the competition? What other options are out there? So there's the Arai RX-7V. It's probably best suited for an oval head and riders who want comfort and good air ventilation. There's obviously the quite popular AGV Pista. This is the GP RR, and in my opinion, I think that's definitely a racing MotoGP inspired type helmets for those purists who need the lightest, most aggressive helmet. So when you're actually properly a racing rider who goes to race series, depending on where you are in your world, and they're obviously expensive, so bear that in mind. I'd say more of the friendly side of the budget is HAC, RPHA1. Best for the budget conscious riders who still want a certified, say, track helmet. And by I mean certified is the stickers that you get on the back. So all these Shoei helmets do have these stickers. This one's is the motorcycle of British sport, so these are certified here in the UK. There will be the equivalent DOTS European rating or American European rating in the country that you get your helmet from. So make sure that it has those stickers. So if you're looking for an everyday helmet that looks cool, functions on road and track, is lightweight, comfortable and very versatile, then you cannot go wrong with the Shoei X-Spirit III. Thanks very much.